if scenario A is the National Endowment for the Arts is defunded, that will have an immediate and deleterious effect upon the 56 state arts agencies, right? What do you think the field, as a field, including all of the artists here at the conference and out in the rest of the country, should do immediately, and who leads that effort?
Well, if that does happen, which I hope it doesn't, it would have a significant impact, I think. Not so much in the dollars, even though it's critically important. It's the symbolism of that. If the federal government of this country decides to end official recognition, an official agency that supports the arts, that does send a message to states and regions that they have that option as well. So that's what, to me, is the most concerning. But what should they do? Well, right now we're strategizing, we're planning. Americans for the Arts is terrific about keeping this issue forward. There are other groups such as the Cultural Action Group, the CAG group, which is really, really important. They are also meeting government affairs folks. So we are not sitting and just, we are waiting to see, but we're not just sitting and not planning. Right. So we're doing that. So as the head of a large service organization, as well as my colleagues who are also in charge of other large service organizations, we are already meeting. We're already in discussions here at this conference about what we do. Specifically to answer your question, it's like if A happens, what do we do? So we'll have crafted plans, we'll have practical plans, we will tell people who to contact, how to contact, et cetera, as much as in our ability as a nonprofit. But there's also Americans for the Arts who does this full time.
Right. So 2 final questions. Yes. One is on this topic, and then the other will lead us back to the artists that we're all talking about here. The first question is, the Clyde Fitch report is going to publish something on the 20th of January.
Yes.
We're doing a survey of the 56 state arts agencies and asking them 2 questions. One, what values and achievements and accomplishments did they deliver to their constituents in each state during 2016? Okay. And number 2, it's a little controversial, and I'll explain why in a moment. In a post-NEA America, how would it affect the operations of their agency? Okay. And we've had quite a response.
Really?
And the head of the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies has provided us, Pam, has provided us with a wonderful statement that attests to the collective work that they all do. Right. But there was a feeling, and I don't want to misquote or misinterpret what she wrote, that inherent in asking a question about a post-NEA America is an assumption that there's going to be a post-NEA America. What do you think the conversation ought to be, not just within the field, but within the rest of the American public, people who don't even realize that their local performing arts center is benefiting from work that's been cultivated in part through public money? What do we, not just as a field but as a country, need to be talking about? And we think this article that we're publishing is one way to do it, but we think that there are lots of other ways to do it. We need to engage everybody, it seems to me. So what do you think of that? You could answer any part of that question that you like, and then I'll talk about artists, because I think I have a final question that you'll like very much. Sure.
Well, no, I am a firm believer of raising these questions in as many fronts as possible. So I'm really happy that you're asking that question right at the inauguration. I know Pam, they're doing great work. I think that we have to look at communities as local entities, and that each of our presenters, most of whom are in small to medium-sized communities, need to take the message to their constituents. They need to let people know that they need to support the arts. Do they want the arts in their communities? And not to take it for granted, because so often people are sitting in audiences watching this going on, not knowing that behind the scenes, the organization that's bringing you that work may not make their payroll. They may not be here next year. And I think it's really important to let people know in a very clear, logical, strategic fashion that this may go. Can you help us? Right. And one of the silver linings that we're learning through this, looking at possible worst-case scenarios, is that when you have an issue like this, it can actually bring people together.
Right.
You can make allies with other organizations, arts or non-arts in your community, that have shared values about this is what this means to our community. So that may be the silver lining that comes out of this, that we make alliances, that we open conversations,
Right.
that we raise the hard questions, perhaps even strengthen support for the arts. That would be another silver lining. So that's my answer to you. So there's many questions.
That was a lot more cogent than the question deserved. You know, I want to be him when I grow up. You all know that. So my final question is this.
Yes.
Every artist here at this conference,
Yes.
they're able to do what they do because of this marvelous thing called the First Amendment.
Right.
Right? There are a lot of people in this country who are concerned about the First Amendment and concerned about the funding issues that we're talking about,
Right.
the political implications that you alluded to. What should every artist at the APAP conference be doing at the conference and post-conference to help strengthen the field as you described?
Well, this may
You have 30 seconds.
this may sound like a more of a purist answer. I would ask and join each artist to look at the work they're doing, to see if it's possible that they can focus the work that they're doing on addressing some of the issues that we face, if it works for them, through whatever medium. So I don't want to force someone to go into political theater or do something that puts them outside of their comfort range, but I would say join with us, focus. What you bring to the table as an artist is completely unique, and it's the reason we exist. So bring all that you can, and you will be welcomed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Handshake.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.